For the last couple of chapters, Isayama has been really going hard into the story of Attack on Titan, and now since it's all coming to an end soon, every chapter feels like a train of emotions and feelings. Hello and welcome to WonderYZ, my name is Soham and today we are going to talk about Attack on Titan manga chapter 131. Obviously, spoilers warning ahead for the anime only viewers. Also, in this video I'm going to give you my quick thoughts and opinions on the chapter rather than a full in-depth discussion review, because this is based on the fan translations, so there might be some eventual mistakes. Thus, I will wait for the official translation before diving deep. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest content. Anyway, let's begin the video. Now, every manga has a central theme around which the chapter mostly revolves, but this is quite an exception, because even after trying my best, I couldn't really find any singular unifying theme of the chapter. Rather, it's divided into a number of different stuff, ranging from emotions of fear and destruction to the prevalent themes of freedom and bounded by shackles. But the overall chapter is without a doubt extremely dark, depressing and gloomy. It also provides a lot of context to events that previously happened in the story, like when Eren and the rest of the scouts went to Marley for the very first time. It actually provided a much needed Eren's point of view. And to be honest, yeah, that's quite an important aspect of this chapter. If anything, this chapter can be broadly divided into three separate yet interlinked parts. Firstly, the two poor boys Halil and Ramzi from the camp tents. Number 2, past and present Eren's point of view. And number 3, the interactions between Armin and Annie. I think Isayama made a very important decision to show the helplessness and tragedy that the whole world has started to suffer now that things are not simply limited to Marley and Eldia. It's a much bigger issue than that, and the helplessness of these poor people is simply disheartening to say the least. And the way the two boys who were suffering from extreme poverty got crushed by the colossal titan were gruesome and painful. However, I think and I just hope that the anime doesn't try to tone down these scenes because they are really impactful for Eren's motivations as well as decisions. The thing is that we get a flashback to when Eren first went to Marley. There he actually saved this very same boy who got crushed today. And not just that, he actually saw this boy in his vision as well, thereby confirming beyond any doubts about the Attack Titan's past as well as future memories. Isayama is really outdoing himself by interweaving the entire story from the past, present as well as the future. Because it was at this very moment that Eren decided to go forth with his dangerous plan, as he didn't see any other viable option where Eldians survived the war. Thus, he had to unfortunately go forth with his plans. In the midst of all this, however, we get some very meaningful flashbacks of Kid Eren and how he wanted to see the world that Armin's books talked about, and how he was eventually disappointed by the outside world when he actually went there. Moreover, there's a hauntingly ironical scene of Kid Eren saying that this is freedom, while in the present, the rumbling absolutely devastated the town and left everyone in a pulp. Is this really what freedom is all about? That's a very philosophical question, something that even Eren considers as he remembers his mother. Once again, the topic of brainwashing and shackles is brought up here in the story. All the factions in the world of Attack on Titan have used mind control and brainwashing to snatch away the freedom from the lives of ordinary citizens. Eren was one such poor soul who wanted to gain freedom from all of this. That's why he had joined the Survey Corps, but even there, he was eventually led from one philosophy to another. And when he eventually gained true freedom, it quote-unquote brought about the destruction of the entire world. All of these are quite important philosophical questions. Anyway, the rest of the chapter happens on the boat with Armin and Annie, a very crucial tender moment in the midst of a deadly situation. I won't go much in depth here, but just to sum up, yes, Armin x Annie is almost official now. I really appreciated these panels. Armin blushing, then Annie blushing. This was a tender moment done right, as these two are broken souls who have been brought down by the stuff they had done before, and both of them understand each other perfectly. And that's pretty much the entire chapter. There are many more topics of discussion that can be held here, but I'll save that for later on. However, two things that I cannot stop thinking about are the shots of a tiny Ymir Freeds in the background of the destroyed town and the seagull at the end of the chapter. Is that somehow Eren who is looking at everyone through the paths? Because there's a very important and meaningful panel of Eren and Armin at the paths, which seemingly implied that Eren is only connected to Armin now, and he has lost everyone and everything else. And lastly, the panel of Eren from the very end, which almost seems like Eren is bounded once again. He almost looks like he has lost the freedom that he sought after for so long. I really wonder where this story is leading to, as we only have about 5 to 6 chapters left. What will even happen next, I really don't know. But either way, this was once again an amazing chapter with some hauntingly disturbing nightmare-fueled panels as well as tender and heartwarming panels too. Overall, I quite enjoyed it. So that's it for today guys, thank you so much for watching. Please mention your thoughts in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel for more. This is WonderYZ and I'll see you soon in the next video.